Hey everybody, it's the week of the Twin Cities Bridal Show and I am super excited. I can't wait to kick off our winter season. Thrilled to have you in the show. We're doing know before you go video so that you're all prepared for everything that you need to know for the Twin Cities Bridal Show, from load in through the show itself and for your load out. So first things first, remember that the show hours have changed. We've continue to extend the hours to accommodate as many couples as we can, and the good news is we are literally sold out of this show, so it's super exciting. We're going to have a really fantastic event. The show opens at 11 a.m. and the show closes at 5 p.m. The other really big change for the show this year is we've moved upstairs to the ballroom level. We're super excited. The ballroom is an amazing, grand space, and what's really nice too for the attendees now is everything's going to be on one level. The fashion show and the exhibits are all on one level in this beautifully designed space. I'm going to walk through some of the requirements for the COVID health screenings, just to let you know that everybody that's coming into the building will need to go through a health screening. So that includes you as vendors, our staff, the River Center staff, and then, of course, the day of the show, all of the attendees. As part of the health screening, you'll be asked a series of questions to make sure that you don't have any COVID symptoms. In addition to that, we will also be taking temperatures of everybody that's coming in. And, of course, masks are required as part of the mandate. So, because that process does take a little bit of time, we ask that you check in earlier than normal. And make sure that you just arrive earlier for safe setup and getting through all those precautions. Because the ballroom is in a different location than what you're used to moving into, you're still going to pull into the loading dock if you have large items, and you will take a freight elevator to the ballroom. There will be signage. Basically, if you are familiar, if you've done the show before, you'll pull into the loading dock, and as opposed to going through the large roll-up doors that are immediately in front of you from the loading area, you'll go down just a short ways to the freight elevator. It'll just be to your right as you're in the loading dock area, and we'll have assistants there directing as well. The dock marshal can give you guidance, and we will also have a limited number of carts. We obviously want to sanitize the carts in between usage. So if you do have your own carts, I really encourage you to bring your own. That will be super helpful as well. If you have a smaller exhibit, the ballroom is actually on the second level of the River Center, and it's connected via Skyway to the Kellogg ramp, which is directly across the street. If you have smaller items that will fit through a regular elevator, I would encourage you to utilize the opportunity of just loading in from the loading dock, or from the parking ramp rather. And you can do the same thing on your load out too. It'll make it a little easier if you do just have smaller items that are coming in. Make sure that you are in by 10 a.m. on Sunday. We want to make sure that everybody is in and ready for the show to start promptly at 11. Keep in mind that the regulations for exhibit space, according to the state, is you can have 2 staff members in a 10 by 10 space, and you can have up to 4 staff members in a 10 by 20 space. It's important that you're distancing yourself from your staff members and adhering to the social distancing. We have invested in floor stickers that will help you in your booth. You'll have 2 of these for your 10 by 10 space that you can put at least 6 feet apart from each other. And then we'll have another set to put in the aisles so that the couples attending the show will know where to stand when they're talking to you or one of your other staff members. Some of the other suggestions that we have for you is think of the things that will help create maybe some physical barriers as well. This was super helpful in our show in September. So think about putting your table at the front of your booth, because that becomes a physical barrier. Typically in the past, we've always encouraged you not to do that and invite people into your booth. Obviously with COVID, that's a little different now. So the table worked really good as a great barrier. Another recommendation is to have, if you have couples signing forms, have a bucket of used pens and ones that are sanitized, and mark those so that they know which pens to grab, and then clean as needed and refill the sanitized from the used pen bin. Also consider digital options. In our last show in September, we had a lot of companies utilize QR codes. And so this is a great way of having people snap your information without having to utilize utensils or writing or anything else. Some of our vendors actually set up a sign-up form using a QR code. So the couples snapped the QR code and went directly to a registration form, which was really super helpful. We're trying to come up with as many ways to be touchless as possible. So you'll see that all of our ticket sales are done in advance now. And so we don't actually have physical paper tickets. People will generally show it to us on their mobile device, which is great. And so we're encouraging vendors to find as many ways to be touchless as possible. We will be providing hand sanitizer throughout the space. Every exhibitor will have hand sanitizer within proximity to their booth. But we do ask that you bring your own wipes. So if you have elements that people are going to be touching and looking through, make sure that you are sanitizing between people coming through and talking to you with your booth. We will also supply a garbage can for every exhibitor as well. This is super helpful, so then you can dispose of those wipes quickly and efficiently in your own exhibit. You won't have to leave to do that. Because of COVID, be aware that concessions and the cafe will be closed, and drinking fountains at River Center are all covered. So I encourage you to bring in your own beverages as needed. Definitely encourage you to bring water to have throughout the day, because you won't have access to that in the facility itself. We have set up meeting room 7 as a designated vendor area, so if you do need to take a break throughout the day, that's an area that you can go and consume beverages, or if you bring a lunch or whatever you bring with you. Be advised that the flow of attendees, if you haven't participated in our September show, if this is either your first show with us or if this is your first during COVID event with us, know that the flow of attendees is going to be different than what you're used to. We actually have a designated path that attendees will take throughout the entire show. So they're going to pass by every booth specifically because we've created a specific traffic pattern. You'll notice on the floors there will be one-way arrows which will indicate the direction that all the attendees will be traveling. This will help to ensure that people are not crossing as they're going through the show. So it's a kind of a continual path from one part of the room through the entire space and then to the exit. There are a couple of additional changes that are happening with security, mostly related to the NHL. They have some new regulations. So we know that there is a game on Sunday for load out, and we don't want you to be surprised, but the NHL is now having dogs basically do sniff tests of vehicles that are coming in for safety purposes, and just another level of security within the building. So just to be aware of that. We're actually excited that River Center does take their security very seriously and continue to implement new ways to make sure that our events, as well as any other events in the building, are safe. As far as strike goes, as the show closes at 5, I'll make an announcement that you can take your booth down and move out. A lot of times, vendors have additional staff that are coming to help them load out. That staff will also have to go through the health screenings and have temperature checks. So just advise them that when they get there, we'll be checking temperatures for anybody that's coming into the space, even for load out. Make sure that you are sharing your story throughout the day on social media. This is a really great way to engage more couples than the ones that are just able to make it to the show. Because we are in a sold-out situation, this is a really good opportunity to be able to share with those people that weren't able to attend, or those people that were fearful of attending because of COVID. So always use our hashtag at The Wedding Guys and TC Bridal Show. Some of the other things that you're going to see at the show is we have created custom masks for all of our vendors. So this is a really great way for our attendees to identify those that are working in exhibits, which is great. Also, each vendor will receive 2 lanyards that have their favorite number. We have created a process on our website which allows couples to mark vendors as their favorite. Now this is really great, particularly during COVID, in creating kind of that touchless experience. So they basically log into their account at theweddingguys.com. If they're on their mobile device, all they have to do is enter your 4-digit number, and that keeps track of you as a favorite. So it's in your best interest to encourage people that you're having a really good conversation with to mark you as a favorite and give them that 4-digit number. With the process of the show and kind of the regulations of the state, we want you to know that basically the way our COVID preparedness plan works is that you are considered a worker for the event. So it's something that we've worked out with the Minnesota Department of Health, and we just want you to be aware of our COVID plan. You have all received a copy of the plan, and you should be signing documents that you have received it. Those instructions are really important, as well as all of the things in the video that I talked about today, as part of making you prepared as a vendor at the show. And we just want you to have a really great experience with the event on Sunday. Our entire team is here ready and able to help you in any way possible, and we're just super excited that we're going to be able to open our doors again to all of the couples that have become recently engaged. They're excited to be at the show. We've never seen tickets sell as quickly and as early as we have for this show, so I know they're going to be thrilled to meet you. So I am super excited for the show this weekend, and super excited to see you, and look forward to our move-in, a really great show, and then the follow-up to follow. So until this weekend, can't wait to see you.